Good afternoon and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Comfort Keepers in Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host
Kevin MacDonald.
on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our first guest this morning is my co-host, Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Welcome.
Great to be with you again, Barbara.
So what's going on at our wonderful senior center?
Oh, a lot going on.
Yes.
A lot going on. But first I want to give kudos to some events that happened around the Hughes fire. And most people don't know it, but I was so proud of our volunteers and our staff that day that we got a call from the Castaic Senior Apartments that they needed some help evacuating. And we sent two of our buses. We have 21 passenger buses. And we sent them into the line of fire and received a police escort to go and help them evacuate the apartments right at the end, anyone who didn't have a car to get out. And I was so proud of our staff, our bus drivers, Patrick and Maria, and they went with Linda and Francis as a team together to go help out. And they ended up getting the last 12 people out with 3 dogs and 2 cats.
Oh, my goodness.
And brought them out to the emergency shelter at eventually at COC. And just so proud of and then all of our Meals on Wheels drivers that day, especially Jackie, who was out there to make sure people got their meals and help out with the fires as best they can. So we're just so proud of them. And we learned a lot during that too. Personally, I learned the great role that the Salvation Army does in town, and the role they have with disasters. And the captain was there with his team, and they help out at COC. And then the Red Cross just did an incredible job. And I didn't know I knew of them, but to see them in action between the Red Cross, Salvation Army, and then they worked with the senior center when they needed additional needs, and with different restaurants in town, they reached out and we were able to help them with some food and different things. So it was just nice to see the community come together and see how well organized they are when a potential disaster does happen.
Yeah, we have a wonderful community here. We really do. And I've been here since 1968. So I've seen it grow, you know. I used to ride my motorcycle along with my boys up at the end of the street that I live on and go up the hill before the 14 was even thought about.
Wow.
And they kept saying, "Come on, Mom, you can make it, you can make it." And I finally got up there on top. And that's where the 14 freeway is now.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a great place to live. It really is. And we're getting more and more and more and more people coming up here.
But our response is just before it gets too far in our past, just a credit to Salvation Army in town, the Red Cross.
Oh, yes.
And so proud of the staff and volunteers at the senior center who rose to the occasion, and glad everyone was safe at the Castaic Apartments. They're good friends of ours. And the management there was really good to us during this time. So nice communication as we go forward.
Well, they've also helped when we've had flooding here, and we've had our share of flood.
Right.
And they've always been on hand and ready to help. They really have. It's just a wonderful community. And you also are working in a wonderful organization. Tell us about the senior center and what's going on.
Well, I wanted to share a story because yesterday I gave a tour. We had a volunteer call us, a friend of ours, and she says, "I want to go volunteer at the senior center." So I said, well, "Let's take a tour with me." So we set it up for yesterday. And she's been taking care of her mother for many, many years as really the main care provider. And she says, "I want to give back." And I've been thinking about this for about a year, but I didn't know what to do. And she finally ventured into the senior center. And we took a nice tour around, and we explained everything from the lounge and the lobby to how it works to our donor wall. And we walked her into the ballroom during lunch, and she was, of course, amazed that 350 people there, and it was Shepherd's Pie Day, so it was rocking.
Well, she was there the day I was there.
Yes, Tuesday. Yesterday was Shepherd's Pie Day, so we had about 425 people in that ballroom, as you well know.
Oh, yes.
And this volunteer took a tour, and we explained some different options. We have some opportunities at the barista. People don't know we have a barista, but we do. So your coffee and tea and everything special is over there. I walked her into the kitchen. We almost got run over because they were in the middle of doing this, and they said, "Kevin, what are you doing in the kitchen? Please get out." And I respected
Otherwise,
them,
you're
and we
gonna
got
get
out,
knocked
or
over.
they're gonna make me put a hairnet on, and I was not gonna be doing that. So we skedaddled out of there. We went down to see the classrooms, and then we stopped in the Meals on Wheels office, which was great. And as you know, we have 19 different routes go out every day. So every day, 19 new volunteers come through our door, and they take their packets and they take their tablet and they grab one of our vehicles and deliver almost, yesterday was 490 meals that they delivered, shepherd's pie.
Good heavens.
So, but it was great for me to walk around with her, and she's trying to figure out, well, what can I do? How can I help? Is one of her questions. She was trying to give purpose to her life, and that was a great adventure. And then we went up and talked to the social workers, and she got to see what the social workers do and how they are making phone calls and reassuring people at home that they're going to be okay, and talking to seniors on the phone, and even just some counseling for some grieving groups. And so she got really the whole picture. And I wish many more people would do this and say they want to volunteer, kind of get a repurpose as you become a senior of what can I give back to the community, as you well know, because
Oh,
I could
yes.
be saying the same thing about you. And so we finished a tour for the day, and she was glowing. We were glowing because we like to show the programs, and she's going to get back to us to see what fits with her schedule, her personality, and days of the week that she wants to give back to the community and through the senior center. So it was just a simple example of, if you want to volunteer, make a call and come and take a tour, because I think the tour gives you the vibe of the place.
It does. It really does. And we used to do that on occasion at the old, what used to be the old senior center. And my husband and I are one of the ones who founded the senior center many years ago, because Russ was a school principal, and he would go around and visit the children in all of the classrooms. And a lot of them kept saying, "We don't have any place for my grandma and my grandpa to go." And that's when he made contact with Joanne Darcy, then Antonovich's deputy out here, and we met with Antonovich, and the county sponsored the senior center over on Market Street. And it was a beautiful place. There were all kinds of things to do there.
Right.
I loved playing pool. Oh, I loved that. And it was hard to get in there because most men play pool.
Right.
Very, very
Right.
few women go in and play pool. So I would have to kind of sneak my way in.
Well, that is you, Barbara. I have no doubt in that day and age you were right in there. You didn't care about who they were or how many men there were. You were going to play your pool.
Well, I loved volunteering in this or in this community, because there were so many things that really needed to be done, so many organizations that needed help to get things done.
Right.
And we are really a people-oriented city and valley,
Right.
to speak. And yeah, the senior center has helped so many people in this community.
Well, thank you and
So
your
many.
late husband for starting it and
Oh.
helping it get and going. We're going to be celebrating next year. We're going to be celebrating 50 years.
Oh,
We were incorporated in 1976. They started a couple years
Yes.
before that, but we became official corporation in 1976, and we're going to be
that's right.
celebrating soon.
good heavens.
So we'll have you right there for that celebration.
Oh, I would love to be there. I plan to be there. I wish Russ could be there, because that's something he would really, really be proud of. Wow.
But we'll need everyone to
50
share their
years.
stories as we celebrate 50 years, and it'll be
50 years.
50 years.
That's hard to believe.
7 years at Bella Vita.
Oh, my goodness.
So time's rolling on.
And I'm getting older.
But that spirit of volunteerism is right. And the lady I took around yesterday was just one of those volunteers from town. And so we ask everyone to come in and take a tour, because someone will call me and say, "Oh, I just want to volunteer there." And they have no idea what it's all about. And you get a sense of it, and you're like, that's how I purpose my life. My sister does the same thing with the charities in her town where she lives. She goes and visits and decides, this is what I want to give my time to. And that's really, really nice. So we're very
Yeah,
fortunate.
it's a wonderful community. It really is. We just, everybody seems to be so friendly and outgoing and warm. Does that
It
make
is.
sense?
Yes, it does. For this community, it does make sense. They're that warm, because I have over 220 volunteers a month come to the senior center and give back. So I see it every day. And my other friends who run other nonprofits in town, they're equally blessed with volunteers helping them out, whatever their cause might be.
Yeah, well, I have your volunteers. They call me every day. Mm-hmm. They give me a call, see how I'm doing. You know, if I don't happen to hear the phone, they'll leave me a message, and it's just, and unfortunately, you have to be at the center to do that.
Right.
I would love to do it, but it's
Well,
the policy.
Let me see what I can work something out on that, Barbara. If you want to volunteer from home, we can do something.
Oh, it was wonderful. So keep going. What's
Yes.
happening now?
The other thing's happened, just I bumped into a family yesterday, and they were saying something. I jumped into the middle of a conversation, and it was a daughter bringing her parents in for the first time. Oh. And as this show, as you recall, we asked people, seniors, to come to the senior center.
Yes.
Well, I'm not sure I would come left on my own if I was a guy at home. Your sons and daughters are so pivotal to this, I think, the sons and daughters of our seniors, to say, let me come with you. Let's take a tour of place together. Because, again, someone on their own volition might be a little bit tougher. And I met a wonderful daughter of these two folks, and they were taking their tour yesterday. And before I left, they were signing up for meals. But you need the encouragement of your sons and daughters
Yes.
to help you come over. Because it's not nerve-wracking. You're nervous walking into a big facility and saying, how do I fit in and what is it like? And, you know, we try to describe it as a country club, but you have to walk around the place and enjoy it to realize the country club atmosphere. And that takes a while to learn.
Yes.
That's what it's about, because
Yes.
there's so many classes and so many people, and it gets overwhelming. So
Yeah, and there's so much to do there. I mean, just going into the library itself,
right.
that is, and you've got tons of books.
And it's a peaceful place, at least in the mornings, because some people need that peace with all the
That's
rumblings
right.
around, or the
Yes.
patio outside with at least the good weather we're having this week. People are outside enjoying that. So people need the crowds, but they also need the quiet spaces.
Yes, they do, and you have both of that. Mm-hmm. And it's well organized. It's well taken care of, and you feel comfortable when you're there.
Yeah, and that's our goal, and I attribute that to our staff, our many, we have 120 staff, and I attribute that to them for setting that culture, and also the seniors for buying into it and caring about each other.
Yeah, and the volunteers that volunteer there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody is together, and they do everything to make everybody feel good.
So we want to encourage everyone to come and experience Bella Vita for what it is.
Oh, absolutely.
As you do every Tuesday.
Oh, yes, every Tuesday. I wouldn't miss it for the world. And then I have, like I said, I have meals delivered to me on Mondays and Fridays.
Right.
And so I get good meals.
Well, we sold out last week because we had shrimp scampi on
that was
Valentine's Day.
That was so good.
So we did that, and we served, again, $4.50 in the ballroom, and our pickup window was over 400, so we call it double fours, and that's over 800 meals just for that, and Meals on Wheels is on top of that with another 500 meals. So, and then yesterday, as we said, shepherd's pie, that was another sold-out day. And we never sell out. We always have food for everyone.
Yeah, but your shepherd's pie was wonderful.
Yes, it was.
I used to eat that when I was a little girl in England.
Right.
Because my mother used to make it. Mm-hmm. Oh, and it was delicious. And I thought,
well, that was Chef Marco Rios, Cindy
Yes,
Smith, and Frank is our sous chef. And they do a great job with that, as long as our whole kitchen team. So I have nothing to do with it. They don't want me in the kitchen.
Stay
but
out,
I eat
boss.
their end product, and I let them know how I feel about it. But they just do an amazing job. But so many people have their hands in that, you know what I'm saying? And it's not me, it's them. They're cooking it, they're preparing it with love, because it's going to their loved ones.
That's right.
And if anything's wrong, they're going to hear it right away. So.
Well, you also walk around and say hello to people during the lunch hour.
Absolutely.
In the lunchroom.
Oh, it's important. Everyone's part of our community. Everyone's part of our Bella Vita community, and there's first-timers out there and people that have been with us for quite a long time.
And every table in there has people sitting at it, whether it's 8, sometimes they get 10 in there, which
Right.
they're not
I know.
supposed to do.
So, and we got new tables for 2 because we wanted to make it a little comfortable for people who don't want to sit at a
Yeah.
large table. So that's a new thing with tables of 2 or 4. So we're working on those options and just
Well,
trying to
that's a good
expand what
idea.
people can do.
That's a good idea. But when I go in with that Tuesday group, we have at least 2 full tables.
Right.
And sometimes somebody else will scoot in.
Well, good.
You know.
All right.
and
They want to sit with you,
make it a
Barbara.
big-
Let them
Yeah.
sit with you. They want to sit with you.
Well, we all, we're all going through similar situations, and there were, I think there were 17 of us in there yesterday.
Wow.
And everybody goes around and talks about how their week was, how their week went. And sometimes some of them cry, some of them smile. It depends on what's going on with them. And that I'm so glad that that group was started because it really is beneficial.
Yeah.
And I lost Russ. The 27th of this month will be 6 years.
Wow.
But you still go through grief.
Right. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop no matter what.
And that's why you need those friends around you. But you need it organized too. And I think that's what we provide, an
That's
organized
right.
group to do it. And,
Yes, and
and
Etta-
sometimes you just need a one-on-one. And we have that too. We have the groups, but we also have the one-on-one
I know.
counseling so someone can just listen to you and support you. So I think that's important
Yeah,
to
it
make sure.
is. It's wonderful. You've really brought the senior center up to such a level that is helping so many people. So many people. I mean, just going into that dining room.
Right.
I mean, what? I mean, it's completely full. And how many tables do you have in there?
We have a lot.
You must have.
Yeah, we have almost 30 tables
Yeah,
in
I was
there.
going to say you must have close to 30 tables.
And we can keep growing. So
Yeah, and almost every one of them,
Right.
when I've gone in there, have been full or partially full, which is good
no, it's
because everybody is they're socializing, they're eating a good meal, and they're enjoying each other. You know.
no. We love to serve.
Oh,
and,
yes.
and bring it on.
Oh yes.
But we also remind ourselves once in a while that everything we do there is a little expensive. So we need some funding. So what we
right.
do every year is we call our annual event, our main signature event. It's called Celebrity Waiter. And that's coming up just 2 months from next week. So we're getting ready for it. And we're selling tables already. But Celebrity Waiter is going to be outside in our beautiful courtyard. It's the main fundraiser for the Senior Center, as I've said. We got the theme is Broadway Lights. So we got a great.
You got all the lights
the
out
lights
there
are coming
too.
in. We got a band coming in, and Michael Levin's coming in. He's going to be singing some Broadway tunes, and we're going to have a hoot and a holler out there and raise some good money. And tables are on sale now. So if you're out there and you're a corporation that serves seniors, want to serve seniors, or just want to contribute and support the community, and go grab a table of 8, come and join us with your staff and your partners, and come celebrate the Senior Center. So that's going to be April 26th. It's a Saturday night at Bella Vita. And information's on our website, and we're just really looking forward to a great, great night.
So can you give information on tables cost now?
Sure. Most of the tables there's a whole sponsorships at our on our website, but we have our title sponsor, and that's already been taken up by 2 groups. But we have a Broadway sponsor for $5,000. Pantages sponsor is $3,500. And then the last sponsorship is matinee sponsor for $2,000, and each of those includes a table and gifts and wine, and we'll spoil you rotten there.
Oh, I know. I've been there for many years.
So we're going to
That's
start
wonderful.
celebrating as we get closer and give you more information coming out. We're going to just have a fun night out in that courtyard. So we'll be dancing, we'll be singing Broadway.
Let's hope it won't be raining.
If it's not, we got the backup. We got the greatest ballroom in the city. And
Oh,
that's
yes.
the Grand, as we call it.
The grand ballroom.
So anyway, that's what we're doing. One quick shout out to Rotary for doing our chili cook-off. A couple weeks ago, they did a great job. We advertised it here on KHTS quite a bit, and we're just grateful for the Santa Clarita Valley Rotary Club for helping us with the chili cook-off that they sponsored.
Yes.
So very, very nice.
Okay.
So I think we need to take a break now. I'm Kevin MacDonald with my co-host Barbara Cochran on your hometown station 98.1 FM, AM 1220, KHTS.
And our guest now is George Brown, who's a senior designer at Ulrich Lifestyles. Welcome.
Thank
It's
you,
good
Barbara.
to see you. It's been a long time.
It has.
Yes.
It has.
And we're both from Europe, aren't we?
That's right.
I'm from England and you're from?
New Zealand.
New Zealand, right. There we are. So you may get a little confused with
I'll
our
try to follow the
language.
accents as we go along here. Yes, I'll do my best.
Okay, George, what is the company you work for and what do you do and what does it do?
Well, Ulrich design and build lifestyle structures.
Right.
And that extends to animal shelters and anything that a person wants in their backyard, a backyard office, a gym, a craft room, a workshop, or just storage.
Now, do you add on to a house,
No,
or is this a separate building on
it
the
is, it
property?
is a separate building.
I see. Now, do you also build the little bedroom homes with the kitchen and the shower?
No,
You see some of those in the backyards of different properties.
no, we just provide a structure that is an ADU that's finished out with kitchen and bathroom. We're not in that
Oh, you
space.
don't? Oh, okay, okay. So you'll put a playroom outside for a kid.
Correct, correct.
Wow.
So, or a backyard office, or a craft room, or if someone wants a large workshop, we'll design and build up to 800 square feet.
Wow.
It's amazing what you do. When I saw your advertisement and it described it as sheds, I'm like, no, there's so much more than that. And then you explore what's one of your favorite things to build for a family in their backyard?
I think the favorite for a family would be a playhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, it's and a lot of grandparents will buy one and get them put in so that the grandkids will always come over.
Yeah. Wow.
And I also saw that you do pergolas and you do all different things for your backyard that I never thought of before.
No, the pergola is really only available in Texas and Virginia.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Now, what is a pergola? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's just a structure for your backyard, but they don't do that in Virginia and Texas. Bringing back to that, why don't you tell us about your company, because you guys are in different parts of the country and you're here in Santa Clarita as well.
yeah, the company originally started in Texas. The Ulrich family started it over 30 years ago, and it's still currently run by the family. And they expanded into Virginia, here into California. We have factories in each of those states where we build from scratch the actual structure, and we either build them in our production line and deliver them as a fully built unit, or where there isn't the access from the road to the backyard, we essentially create like a kit set, send a crew out to build it on site.
Oh, my. Good heavens. That's quite a task to build. So you'd have to have a truck full of all of the things that go into that at somebody's house so they could do it in the backyard. Wow. That's incredible.
So those kit sets, we produce them from plans in the factory. So it's all pre-cut to the right dimensions.
Right.
And they're brought in as basically sticks of wood and panels and carried into the backyard and erected by the crew.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, now, do you have a warehouse in Santa Clarita?
No, our factory's in Arvin, between Tehachapi and Bakersfield.
Arvin, Arvin?
Correct.
Between Tehachapi and Bakersfield. That's out on the 5, going up the 5 and then on the 126?
It's just out of Bakersfield, yes.
Bakersfield. How do you get to Bakersfield from here?
Through the 5.
The
Yep.
5,
Through the
yeah.
5, yep.
I thought that's what it was.
So you kind of go over the grapevine down the other side, then you
Right.
turn right before
Right.
you get into Bakersfield, and
Right.
it's kind of out in this rural area.
Right.
What do you have in Santa Clarita?
We have a display yard or store,
Right.
and we've got many different models on display. We also have a store in Visalia, obviously in Bakersfield, and one in Paso Robles.
So tell me what I'm going to look at when I go into the store in Santa Clarita.
You'll see all different styles of roof, everything from a kid's playhouse up to a 12 by 20 high stud structure with double doors. So what we have is display that show the different foundation and framing packages that we offer. So it's not, we design it to suit every customer's requirements, because everybody wants something different. And so even the just the foundation and framing, a lot of it depends on the use and the weight that's going to be put inside.
I see. What do you erect for seniors?
Whether it's a senior family, it's whatever each wants. More the seniors generally storage, just storage. Yep.
Interesting.
But can I say, I've looked at their sheds. They're beautiful. This is not a storage shed. This is a beautiful
shed,
structure that doesn't look like your average shed in your backyard that I've built. They're just beautiful. They go along. It's attractive. It goes along with your home. Am I right? I mean, you can really make that as an additional part of your home, but as an asset, and not just having a shed in your backyard. It's
correct. I mean, I designed them to even blend in with the house. So if there's a particular roof style, I look at the house and say, yes, we can offer that, right down to the color. We could match the color of the house if need be.
So can you put a pathway into that little house that has a cover on it that's sheltered?
No, we would provide the structure. Any of the landscaping or a hardscaping, that would be up to the customer
to find someone to do that.
That kind of falls into the landscaping business.
I see.
What's your most requested in this area?
The most requested would be a 10 by 12 shed, storage shed. And so that's the largest you can go to without needing a permit.
Okay.
10 by 12. That's not small.
No.
Especially when you want it for storage. Oh, good heavens. I give most of my stuff away. I give it to the Red Cross or the Assistance League and places like that where people can actually use the stuff. I used to have a lot of stuff in storage, and it was taking up all kinds of space. And my kids said, "Mom, get rid of that stuff. Either throw it away or give it away." And they rented one of those monstrous, great big metal containers that I had sat in the driveway. Fill it, and it was filled up 4 times.
Okay, Barbara. It was time for you, Barbara.
Oh, it was.
But you're still going to keep something, and that's where I think these sheds come into play, and also adding the value to your home so it doesn't negatively impact the value of your home. Am I right?
That's correct.
I mean, you're really looking at something. I want to add value to your home because when I sell my house, I want the main house to be nice. I want the accessories to be nice, and I think that's where you guys come through.
That's exactly where we come in, and there's one style which is also popular. It's just got a single sloping roof, and it's designed to go up against the side of the house.
Right.
So when you paint it the same color as the house and have the roofing match or very similar to the house, it just blends in like it was part of the house.
It's part of the house. And then if you want to have access to it, you just get someone in there to put a door in there to go into that little extra area.
Right. And you also call them different names, right? You got a she shed or a man shed.
Yeah, there's different terminology or descriptions used.
But those are important descriptions because I want my man cave or my man shed somewhere. Every guy needs one.
Every guy needs one.
That's great for a man cave.
They need a getaway.
I designed one where the guy enjoyed smoking cigars with his friends. Wife would not allow him to smoke inside the house.
I can't blame
And so
him.
he wanted this unit designed as his friends and his smoking room.
Okay.
His he shed.
His man cave. Yeah.
Man cave. He shed, she shed, man cave. There we are. That's incredible. But what a business. How did you get into the business?
Well, it's, I joined the company, but as I mentioned before, the company's been around over 30 years, and I live in the area, and to me, my background was a logical fit with what I do now. I just applied, and here I am.
So when did you come over from New Zealand?
2013.
Oh, you haven't been here that long, have you?
No.
No. I came over when I was 10 and a half. That was in 1947.
Wow.
Yeah. My dad was in the Royal Navy, and his ship was torpedoed. HMS Swiftshore. It was torpedoed and towed into Charleston Harbor, South Carolina. And my father was a mason in England. And after the ship was fixed up and repaired, they wanted to open it up because Charleston had never seen a British warship before, and they opened it up to visitors. And a group of masons came on board and met my father. And two of the couples, after the war was over, they used to send us care packages. And they finally sponsored my dad to bring us to the States, because back then you had to have a sponsor. You couldn't come over just to come over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had to find him a job and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And my dad was personal valet to King Edward, who abdicated the throne. So, and I met the late Queen Elizabeth when I was 5 years old. And she was the princess then. And she turned around and looked at me and says, "Well, hello." That's the way she talked,
Wow, what a wonderful story.
Yeah, it's something, and I still have pictures of my dad standing behind Edward in Charterhouse. It was Charterhouse then. It's completely different now. But he's there in all of his finery, all these tag things that hang on the off the arms, and these fancy boots.
Okay.
But yeah, that was quite interesting. And I was teased unmercifully when I came here because of my accent. And kids just laughed at me because I didn't talk like them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm never going to talk like them. Of course, I've lost a lot of my British accent now after living over here for so long.
Well, George still has his accent. And George, tell me, what do you
Yes.
love most about your job, and what are you most proud of your company?
Meeting people. And helping people, because everyone has, something that they're wanting to address, whether it's a storage or they've got a need, and to work with them and design something from scratch until it becomes, that perfect structure or building that they're looking for, and then having it constructed and delivered. That's really very rewarding. Just helping people.
Yeah, well, it's a part of their home. That's exactly what it is. And you're fulfilling something for them.
Correct. So that's probably the most rewarding thing. It's just helping, and a lot of people come in not sure about what it is that they want. They know they've got a need, and then I walk them through the whole design process to understand what it is, whether it's even storage. It's like, well, what are you storing? Right. To understand what the items are and whether it's heat sensitive, and then designing the structure so that it is cooler in summer, or if it's heavy items that they're trying to store. Then there's different foundation options that we offer. We also offer to do concrete slab floors.
Well, there's a lot. Wrap it up for us. How do we get a hold of you? How do we get a hold of your company?
Well, I think the best thing is we're located Sand Canyon 14 Freeway, off-ramp behind Denny's.
All right.
And so it's one thing to talk over the phone. It's another thing to come in and actually touch and see and feel what we do. And that's what I suggest is,
All right.
Anybody coming in to have a look, and I can help them.
We're going to go check it out. You've been listening to the Senior Hour on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS.
AM 1220 KHTS. And we're speaking with George Brown, who is a designer at Ulrich Lifestyles. Now, how did you get involved with it? I mean, you came over from New Zealand. What did you do over there that brought you over here?
Well, I worked for a global company, Westfield Shopping Malls, and they had at the time about 50 malls here in the US. The company was started in Australia in the 1950s, expanded into New Zealand, and then into the US in the 80s. And a position came up here in Los Angeles, and they saw me as a good fit and transferred me here. But of course, I had already married a lovely lady from Los Angeles.
Oh, you had? How
yes.
interesting.
Yes.
So you're right, and she's right at home here.
Yep. She wanted to come back to the family, so it all kind of happened, and we ended up coming back and brought over the boys, and been here for going on 12 years.
Now, what do your boys do? Are they teenagers or are they grown children?
No, they're all grown. So the oldest is an officer with the Cunard line on board cruise ships. And the middle is a CPA, and the youngest is training to be an electrician.
Oh, my goodness. All in the
Barbara,
family.
we'll travel anywhere for love.
Oh, yes. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Hey,
So
George,
you have
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, you have lots of stories to tell, don't you?
A lot of stories.
Yeah, I know you do, like I do. And it's fun to share them. So,
George, could you wrap us up with just how do we get a hold of your company, and where's the best way to get to know Ulrich?
My direct line is 661-927-0988. Otherwise, we can be found behind Denny's on the 14 freeway Sand Canyon off-ramp. And otherwise, just go to our website, Ulrich, that's ULRICH, lifestyle.com. And it will also show you the range of different styles that we offer. And not only that, on the website, you can actually design your own shed as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow, that would be nice.
So, Barbara, start designing right now. Think about it. Think about it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I'm curious as to why your kids didn't follow in your footsteps.
I don't know. They have their own lives and their own idea. And
Now, do you have grandchildren?
No,
Not yet.
They're under pressure.
All right.
I don't blame you.
But I know where they're going to buy their sheds from. We're going to buy our sheds from Ulrich and kind of go from there. My suggestion is check out your website. Love the website, all the photos, and you really see what your shed is. Not really a shed; it's something beautiful to add to our house.
And you can add it to the house. That's what's so interesting, that you could bring it up against the house, and have it be part of the house, and it could be big too if you've got the property to put it on.
If you've got the land, yes, but it doesn't have access into the house because it is a separate structure.
Yes, but it can be made to have a door put there.
And to blend in with the house, yes.
All right. Hey, George, thanks for joining us today. Barbara,
My
great to
pleasure.
hang with you today. You've been listening to Senior Hour on your hometown station, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 KHTS. We are sponsored by Comfort Keepers In-Home Care and Providence Holy Cross Medical Center. Now go and enhance your quality of life.